welcome you all to the session on system simulation and modeling. The system simulation and modeling comes under the PTU curriculum in the 5th semester in the elective subject. So with the coded 18 MCA 551. Since it is an elective, so it is coded with 551. So before moving to this subject that is system simulation and modeling, so let me introduce myself, Tejaswini MN. Working as an assistant professor in the department of MCA, Maharaja Institute of Technology, Mysore. So today, let us discuss, so the agenda are introduce the vision and mission of our department and the college, and also about the subject and the course outcome and the textbooks whatever we are necessary for studying this subject, and also introduction to the simulation, and so when the simulation tool is necessary and when it is not, we need to discuss. So let us start this session with our institution vision and mission. So our institution mission is to recognize as a premier technical and management institute promoting extensive education, forecasting, research, innovation and entrepreneurial attitude. So how you are going to achieve this vision is, we have some missions. So mission is to empower students with the indispensable knowledge through dedicated teaching and collaborative learning, and to advance extensive research in science, engineering and management disciplines, and to facilitate entrepreneurial skills through effective institute industry collaboration and interaction with alumni, and to instill the need of uphold skills of ethics in the every aspects, to mold the holistic individual capable of contributing to the advancement of the society. So this is our college vision, and let me discuss the vision of our department. The vision of our department is to premier source that provides a transformative education to create computer professionals, competent entrepreneurs and technocrats to meet the global challenges, and this are going to be achieved through the mission. So we have set some missions. So the missions are to facilitate students to nurture the skill to practice their professions competently to meet the ever-changing needs of society and environment, and to develop the potential of human resources with the new ideas, research to meet the requirements of cutting-edge technology. So these are the missions of our department. So next, about the subject, why we need this simulation tool or a simulation, so system simulation and modeling. So as we know that nowadays we have a large number of systems, so here we need to, so before going to implement anything, we need to see that how exactly our system works, right? So if instead of looking into that, if you are doing, if you are developing any product, by that time what happens, there may be a chances of failure of that particular a problem or a product, right? So before going to launch any product, what we can do is we can imitate that particular product, and then we can think of new designs, patterns and all. Say for example, if you are constructing a home, by that time what you will do, definitely you will go for an architect. Why you will go for an architect? So why? Because so you want to see how exactly my home should look like, right? So how the interior or the exterior of my home should look like, right? So building, how it is going to look, so those are all things, and right? And also you will think of the budget. So within a budget only we need to fix up. So in order to fix all those things, in order to make use of the resource usefully, effectively, then we need to go for what? Simulation. So in order to get that blueprint of your home itself, we are using what? The simulation tools. That is nothing but AutoCAD tools we have, that is for civil engineering. If you consider the electronic field, definitely before going to launch anyone, so if you want to connect a circuit, by that time there may be a chances of failure of that circuit, right? So if you mismatch the circuit connectivity, definitely you are going to lose some of the resources. In order to avoid that, we have a Tinkercad tool, simulation tool. That is also simulation tool. If you come into the computer base, so that is computer applications, definitely it's takes part in this particular area. That is, if you concentrate on the networking field, so there, if before going to design any kind of topologies, definitely you have to look into whether that topology suits for how many nodes. So whether the packets has to be routed from source to destination, whether it is going to be discarded, whether it will be dropped anywhere, so whether the traffic will occur or not, everything can be simulated using network simulators. So like this, so many networking simulator, or else there may be a civil oriented or electronics oriented, a mechanical oriented, so many CAD. So that is, so if you consider the mechanical field, definitely if you want to launch any car, by that time definitely they will go for what? Simulation, right? So if you think, everywhere simulation is there. So here so basically not, of course here we are not going to learn any kind of tools here. The theoretical aspects we are going to learn in this subject. Okay, so now, so let us see in this curriculum in the 18 MCA 551, so what we are going to learn. Okay, so here we have 5 modules. In the first module, we have an introduction to the simulation modeling. That means that, so you are going to learn what is simulation, whether that simulation tool is appropriate or not. So for the system, so whenever you are modeling a system, by that time, is it necessary for going for a simulation or not? We are going to learn. Okay, and next, the advantages and disadvantages of simulation we are going to learn, and also along with that you are going to learn what is the various examples we are taking on system, and then we are identifying the entities, attributes and all. Okay, and then we will come up with the a queuing model. So the example for this simulation they have given. So how manually you can do the simulation. So for that they have given 2 examples. One is inventory system and another one is queuing system. So banking example they have taken. So based on that we are going to complete that queuing model. Okay. The next module is the general principles and statistical model. And here also we have certain algorithms for doing the simulation, manual simulation. Okay, you can do the automate also. So for that we have a algorithm. So there we are going to learn the the system components, and there we are going to learn the algorithm. So how you are going to generate or automate the simulation. Okay, and along with that, in order to do the simulation, the major thing is the random numbers. So random numbers, so if random numbers are nothing but, so here it is, we can't predict anything, right? So simulation is nothing but prediction. Okay, so imitating the word in the sense what? So if we are trying to imitate something, definitely we need to go for what? So simulation in the sense assumptions. So in order to do that assumptions, various distributions are necessary. So that we are going to learn some statistical distributions here for the system modeling. Okay. And then in the third module, we are going to learn, of course, for the basic ingredient for our simulation is to have the random numbers. So how to generate these random numbers and random variants. So random numbers are just integer values or a floating values, but random variants are the floating point values and the natural numbers. Okay, so that we are going to learn some of the techniques or methods for generating random variants and random numbers by using some distributions, whatever we have learned in the statistical model. Okay, the next module consisting of input and output analysis. So here for doing the simulation, it is very important that the data, whatever the data we are considering is very important. See, whenever we are predicting something, we are going to predict based on what the history of that particular system, right? So we need to study fully. So if I want to study, we should have a history, right? So based on that, history is nothing but what here we can consider that as a input data. So we need to analyze that input data. So how exactly, if you are giving this input, how we are going to get the output. So n number of inputs are required here, we need to work on that. So in the fourth module, we are going to learn some of the techniques for input and output analysis. Okay. In the next module, that is the fifth module, that is, once you have predicted something, you need to verify it, right? So verification and validation of that particular system, so that is system simulation models we need to do. Okay, so once you complete with these modules, definitely the students will get to know how. So what is the basic concepts of system simulation, and along with that how to model a simulation and how to solve or how to imitate the real world problems, and then you can apply the computational knowledge on real time system also. Okay, and next so here as we are learning the random numbers and random variant generation techniques, so we can analyze which is the better algorithm, so in order to get the random numbers and random variants variants here. And the fourth CO, that is course outcome, is, so you need to explore the verification and validation. So once you obtain the random numbers using the inputs, so once you come up with the output, so you need to verify and validate. So that is, students will get to know how to verify and validate the modeling, that is the performance, and also we can estimate the performance of the system simulation modeling. So these about the course outcomes, so what they are going to get at the end of this semester. So only this for this reference, so that is the textbook whatever we are using is system simulation. So that is discrete event system simulation here. Author is Jerry Bank. Fourth edition I have considered, okay, in order to teach this subject. Okay, so let us discuss. So that is in order to pass or in order to clear the semester, what what is the criteria. So here we have SEE and CIE marks. So CIE is conducted for 40 marks and SEE is conducted for 100 marks. Here CIE is for 40 and it will be divided into two halves, that is 20 marks and 20 marks. 20 marks is for written test and another 20 is for the students' performance based on the seminar, assignments and the quiz. So various components are there. Based on that we are going to award the marks for 20. So out of 40 marks they have to score minimum of 20 marks. Why? Because VTU, according to the VTU curriculum, it is mandatory to get 50% of the CIE marks. So and then we have a SE marks, that will be semester end examination, that will be conducted for 100 marks, and the student has to score the 40% of the marks, that is 40 of 100 out of 100. So that 100 marks is going to be scaled down to 60 marks and it will be awarded. Totally 40 plus 60 for 100 marks, total 100 marks, the marks will be given. Okay, so out of this we need to score, the student has to score how many marks? 40 marks. Okay, it is about the syllabus. Okay, now coming to the simulation. So now what you mean by simulation? So simulation is the imitation of the operation simulation is the imitation of the operation of a real world process or system over a time. So system simulation is the imitation of a operation of the real world process or a system over the time. So that means that already I have told that, so system simulation is used for what? So in order to visualize the things before going to implement anything, so we need to look, so how exactly my system works like. That means that here we are going to imitate the operations of the real world problems. Okay, so whatever the process we have, we are going to imitate it. So how exactly it is going to work, right? So here basically the system simulation is going to be done based on what? The assumptions, right? So the assumptions behavior, by studying this behavior of the system, we can do the system modeling. So in order to do this system modeling, we are going to do the system modeling based on what? The assumptions. So these assumptions can be expressed in the form of mathematical equations or logical expressions or symbolical relationship between the entities of or object of interest of the system. Okay, so assumption, as we know that system simulation can be done for, based on what? Assumptions. So assumptions, simply we can't say assumption in the sense, so this is like this, not like that. Okay, so basically, so we are going to express those assumptions in terms of what? Mathematical equations or logical relationship or symbolical representation between the entities of the given system. Okay, if you consider any system, and here why we need to go for the simulation, or else when this simulation tool is appropriate. So when we need to go for simulation. So when we need to go for simulation is if the real world problem, as we know that real world problem will be very complex, right? So in order to obtain the internal interaction between the subsystems, if you want to know about that, then we need to go for what? System simulation. Okay, so if I want to know the internal interaction between the subsystems, that means that the complex system, usually if you have a complex problem, we are going to divide that problem into sub-problems. So here we can consider this one as a subsystems. Okay, so in order to obtain the interaction between the subsystems, then we need to go with system simulation, so that it is easy to learn study the behavior of the system, so that we can measure the performance. Okay, so the next one is what is that? If the system is complex, and to know the interaction of subsystems, if you want to know the interaction between the subsystems, then we need to go for system simulation 2. And the next one, so the next point is to observe the model behavior. behavior. That means that if you consider any kind of systems, like it might be informative system, or it might be organizational system, or it might be any environmental system, so how the information flow will taken place from one to another one. So that is the behavior study is going to be taken place. And the next one is the knowledge gain in the system design model. Designing the model can be a great towards value towards suggesting improving in the system under investigation. So whenever we are building the system, so if it is in ongoing process, by that time it gives you the result. So how can you improve that particular system? Okay, and then so that is simulation can be great valued if you are suggesting the improvement of the system. For the betterment of the system. The next point is by changing the simulation inputs and observing the outputs. As we know that simulation is based on number of inputs and then number of outputs. So we are checking for n number of inputs, and we are checking so whether we are getting the proper result or not. So we can go up to accuracy here. So because of that reason, what we can learn here is, so here we can learn which variables are important and how these variables are interacting with each other. So the next point is, so which role the variables are important and how these variables are interacting with each other. And the next point is here when we need to go for the simulation model is, so used to experiment with a new design and policies to implement. So priorly we can say that, so what if questions can be answered, what might happen. So since it is a prediction, so definitely we are going to get the answer for what might happen. Okay, so what might happen. If you want to know about what might happen to this particular system, then we can go for what? System simulation. And the next point is here, in order to verify the analytical solution, then also we can go for what? System simulation. So that is to verify the analytical solution. If you want to analyze the, or else if you want to verify the analytical solution, then also we can go for what? System simulation. And very interesting point is, whenever if you want to visualize the things, so then you will be, you can say that, see, this is how this is how your home look like. So the look and feel is very important, right? So definitely if you are using the simulation tool, you will get to know the animation of that particular system. That is a very important thing here is, so here if you want to know the animation, so that is animation, it is going to give you the animation, that is nothing but visualizing tool we can say. So here the visualizing tool, in a sense, so whatever the simulation tools we have, definitely it is going to yield you the visualizing thing. Okay, so we can view or look and feel that particular system before going to implement the things. So before going to implement the things in the design phase itself, so you can come up with a good visualizing things, how exactly your system look like. So if you want to know that, so priorly implementing those raw things, if you want to visualize the things, then also you can go for what? The system simulation. Okay, so these are the some of the points to remember to when we need to go for system simulation. If the system is very complex, and if you want to study that behavior of that particular system, then also we need to go for system simulation, and how the subsystem is interacting with each other, in order to know that also we need to go for what? System simulation. So as we know that we are coming up with the input and we are giving the input and we are checking for the output, definitely it will tells you the betterment of that particular system. So before going to implement the thing itself, in the design phase itself, you will get to know, so my system is going to be the better one. Okay, so new policies or new rules can be set up using this system simulation tool. And the variables also important. So here, so as we are giving n number of inputs here, we can check, we are checking with the outputs, n number of inputs we are giving and we are checking with the output. Definitely here we will come across which variables are necessary, I mean to say which entities are necessary and which all are the dummies one. Okay, so we can consider that, and also the interaction between those variables also we can visualize the things here. And also here, what if questions can be answered if you are using the simulation tool. So and next is, so if you want to analyze, get the verification on analytical solution, then also you can go for what? System simulation. And then, so if you want to visualize the things before going to implement, by that time also it is better to go with the simulation. Why? Because it will yield you the visualizing field. Okay, so look and feel effect it is going to give. So in this aspects, so we can go for what? We can go for the simulation. Okay, so the next one is when we should not go for system simulation. Okay, so when we should not go for system simulation. So should not use system simulation tools. When? So very first point, if the problem is very simple and that problem can be solved using your common sense, then it's not necessary to go for system simulation. Okay, so if the problem can be solved using the common sense, then it is not necessary to go for what? System simulation. The problem solved analytically. If the problem gets solved, of course, in order to verify the analytical solutions, then we need to go for what? System simulation. But if you want, if the problem can be solved analytically, then need not to go for what? The simulation. And the next point is, so if you don't have a resources, then you should not go for the system simulation. Example is, so if you want to build a home and if the cost is very high, by that time, so if your dimension is only 10 by 10, then what is the need of going for simulation? So it will be a room only, right? For that it is not necessary to go for architect, right? So likewise, so here if the resources are not available, like, so it might be a cost, your budget, what we can say, okay, the cost is high, very expensive, then we should not go for simulation. If your budget is high and you have enough money, then you can go for what? System simulation. But if you don't have money, so then we should not go for system simulation. Why? Because it need extra training. Okay, so we need extra training here. In order to get the training, so system has to go through with the training, right? So the analyst should be there for doing the system analysis. So for that sake, we need to go with the training. So for that, so definitely time is one more factor. So time, if you don't have enough time, then also you should not go for the simulation. Say for example, if your manager is saying within this period only we need to complete this project and all, okay, in that time if you want to keep on doing the simulation things, so if I am doing this, how exactly my system works, so if you have only one day to complete and if you are applying the simulation it may take 3 days, then what is the use of that, right? So in that cases, if you don't have enough time, then also we should not go for what? System simulation tools, using the system simulation. Have unreasonable expectations, by that time also we should not go for, that means that within that shorter period only we need to complete and all, by that time also we should not go for the simulation. It is not appropriate tool. And we should not go for the simulation if the system is very complex, like our human behavior, right? So it depends on the person. So sometimes the person may moody, sometimes he might be happy, sometimes he might be anything, okay, sad, like that, right? So we can't predict exactly at this point she will be like this and all, right? So we can't predict anything, some complex systems. So for those kind of complex systems we should not go for simulation. Okay, so these are all about the when we need to go for simulation and when we should not go for simulation. So in simulation is nothing but imitation of a real world entity. Okay, so we are going to imitate the process, that is operations of the real world entity, so that we can improve the performance of the system, so that we can get a good system or a better system, we can say. Of course we can get a good system, but we want what? Better one, right? So we want a better one. So in order to do that, we are going for what? The simulation, okay, imitating the real world thing. Okay, so and when we need to go for the simulation, so already we have discussed when we should not go for the simulation, if the problem can be solved using the common sense, and then if the problem can be solved analytically, by that time also we should not go for the simulation. If you don't have enough resources, by that time also we should not go for the simulation. So likewise, so many reasons are there, so that is already we have discussed. So based on that we need to decide whether to go for the simulation or not. Okay, thank you. In the next session we are going to discuss what are the advantages, disadvantages of simulation and what are the different areas of applications of this system simulation, and also we will going to discuss the system and its components. So thank you very much.